So welcome guys to the Banter Racing League round 2 in the Chinese Grand Prix in Shanghai. And we are on board with Ivan as he comes into the final corner, and he grabbed pole position for this race because Agonza originally got pole position, but he had a 5-point grid penalty in game for colliding with someone, so Ivan will start on pole for the Chinese Grand Prix. It is round 2 of the Banter Racing League Season 2, and we hope to have a good race, much better than Australia for sure. There'll be a lot of chances for overtakes, more chances than in Australia. So anyway, we have 13 drivers on the grid for this race, and we start the formation lap now. You can see there is the boom at the back, and as we start the formation lap, I will take you through the grid for this second race of the season. So we will have Ivan on pole from Wattmaster in second, then we have Jagger in third, then we have Combined in fourth, then we have Lucky Racer in fifth, ahead of Ping Chuhai, ahead of Gonza in sixth, then Ping Chuhai in seventh, then we have CombinedYoutuber in eighth, who won't be starting due to his connection, Boxy in ninth, Savage 10th, Wesley in 11th, Big White Wolf in 12th, and the Boom in 13th at the back. CombinedYoutuber, who qualified 8th, won't be competing in the race because his internet decided to give up on him, so not really ideal for the Toro Rosso driver. Anyway, on board with Savage as we come through into this corner, and here we go with Ping. And we now line up on the grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. What's going to happen in this race? Here is Harry right at the back for some reason. I don't know why Harry's so far back on the formation lap. Seems to be ghosted, so turns out he left the session for some reason. Don't know why. He said he left the session before the start of the race. I don't know why. It just game disconnected him before the start. As here we go. Here comes Harry to line up on the back of the grid to start round 2 of the Chinese Grand Prix. Round 2 of the Banter Racing League in China. The lights come on. As now away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. Ivan gets a very good start as he heads down towards turn 1 in the lead, and Wattmaster keeps second place. Jagger runs into the back of Wattmaster, I think, there, and there's a bit of debris falling off, but Ivan leads from Wattmaster. And there's the Boom at the back, spinning round. But now it's Ivan from Wattmaster and Agonza in third. As now we have Wesley going between his teammate and Savage. As now we're on board with Ping Chuhai and Boxy. As he comes up the inside, Ping Chuhai goes up the inside and makes contact with Jagger. That is big contact with Jagger. As now Combined stays in fourth. There's now Ivan from Wattmaster, from Agonza, from Combined, then Boxy, then Jagger. Lucky Racer in 7th, and Savage moves up to 8th. Ping Chuhai has had a bad start to this race. He has lost his front wing end place, and now here comes White Wolf around the outside of him. He's dropped down to 10th. A disastrous start for the Williams of Ping Chuhai. He has dropped down all the way to 10th. As now Wesley, Harry and the Boom are at the back. The Boom obviously spun at turn 1 for some odd reason. I don't know why he did, but he seemed to. As now there's huge understeer there. Yes, Ping Chuhai will have to pit at the end of lap 1 as he drops down all the way to 12th. A terrible start for Ping Chuhai in the Williams. And it's not a good start for Jagger as well, who also lost a bit of his front wing, and he's dropped from 3rd down to 7th. So they both have to pit, as now here is Harry in the Renault behind Wesley now, coming to the final corner. Jagger comes into the pits for a front wing change, and here is White Wolf slipstreaming Savage as we come down towards turn 1. He looks up the inside, but White Wolf backs out of the move, and Savage holds on to 7th place. So White Wolf has made it further than what he did in Australia by not spinning out at turn 1 like he did in Australia. At the exit of turn 2 actually he spun out. Is now on board with Combined. Currently in 4th, behind those 3 leaders of Agonzo, Ivan and Wattmaster. And here we go, on board with White Wolf once again. He's lost it onto the grass there, and that's lost him a huge amount of time to Savage there. Here comes Harry in the Renault around the outside, and he does it. He has done it around the outside, and he moves up into 8th, does the Renault driver. And now we come into the straight. Wesley is right behind his teammate White Wolf, heading down towards the hairpin onto the long straight. And Harry in 7th, and here comes Lucky Racer up the inside of Boxy, and he moves up into 5th place. As now Ivan still leads, and the Gonza has taken 2nd place from Wattmaster, and Combined in 4th at the moment. Still right behind Wattmaster as well. Lucky Racer says fastest lap. Combined, there's a lot of fastest lap. There's a lot of fastest laps there. There's now replay of the start. Here is CombinedYoutuber's point of view of the start. And Ivan got a very good start there. Jagger tried to cover off Combined, and he put him all the way to the inside. And yes, indeed, Jagger ran into the back of Wattmaster and lost a bit of his end plate on the right-hand side. Agonza swooped around the outside of Combined and on the inside of Jagger, and he moved up into 3rd after starting in 6th. That's nice stuff. As now, here we go with Ping Too High, who is involved in a collision at turn 6. He gets a pretty decent start. He goes past Lucky Racer, as now he sees Combined, and he actually runs into the back of him there. So that's an interesting incident there. He also makes contact with Boxy as well. So that was why Ping Too High has that front wing damage. He ran into the back of Combined at turn 1. As now, here we go down towards turn 6. What's going to happen now? And up the inside, that's quite ambitious from Ping Too High. I think that might result in a penalty for causing collision there, because he went too aggressive there on Jagger. As now, back to live action as we are on board with the Gonza in the McLaren down towards turn 14. He comes now into turn 14. What's going to happen? Ivan still leads this race, but it's a McLaren 1-2. They are fighting for the lead in this Chinese Grand Prix. Gonza's gone further than he was, and under investigation, Ping Too High for causing a collision. I knew that was going to happen, and he has been caught, and he probably will get a penalty for that. As now on board with Ping Too High now. In 12th, you can see Addy Usual left the session, so he realised he couldn't compete in the race. There's the Boom in 11th, who has passed both Ping Too High and Jagger. As now here comes Wesley, looking up the inside of his teammate, and that is a very nice move. And there's actually a little bit of contact there, and White Wolf holds on to 9th place there, and Wesley in 10th. The Red Bulls almost made contact there, but they didn't quite. Very nice racing between those two. As now on board with Harry in the Renault, behind Savage in the Mercedes. Here we go, coming down towards turn 9. What's going to happen now? Is Harry going to move past Savage? He should be able to, considering his pace in the last race, where he finished in 6th, and he was podium places a few times. Here we go, Savage has gone a little bit wide there, and now Harry's going to pick up the slipstream as we head down into this corner. He has DRS available, he pulls us to the outside. And now they're side by side, and Harry should get ahead of Savage, and he does get ahead of Savage into the hairpin. But now Savage comes back up the inside into turn 14. They are wheel to wheel, but there was almost contact there. There is a bit of contact, but now Harry comes on the inside and has the inside line coming into the final corner, and he gets the plate on Savage, and he moves up into 7th place. A nice move from the Renault. Very clean racing there between those two. Savage left plenty of space on the inside for Harry, and he now moves up into 7th. Now on board with Wattmaster, who has dropped back from the two McLarens out in front. Well, he's actually keeping up with them, not dropped back. He's actually keeping up with those two McLarens. So this is a nice battle at the front at the moment here in China. Ivan leads from Agonza, then it's Wattmaster, then it's Combined, then Lucky Racer in 5th, Boxy in 6th, Harry in 7th, Savage in 8th, White Wolf and Wesley. And now Ping Too High has gone for a spin at the exit, just the entry of the 2nd sector, and that could bring Jagger close to him. He's spun again. His tyres are very dirty, I think. His tyres have got like gravel, so he can't keep control of the car. He just keep on losing control of the car because he's got dirt on his tyres, because here comes Jagger now to pass Ping, and he gets past him, and Ping is just spun again as Jagger gets past him. That's unbelievable. Yeah. Ping and Jagger not having the greatest races today. As now back to the battle between the two Red Bulls. Wesley keeping up with White Wolf as he comes into turn 6. The Red Bulls had a double DNF last race, but they are keeping it clean this race so far. As now, Ping had another spin at the straight there, so that's really unfortunate. On board with Ivan in the McLaren as he comes into the straight. And now, what's going to happen? The battle for the lead is back on. As now, here we go. Here we go. Coming into the hairpin. It's quite close actually. Agonza's not really challenging Ivan that much. So Agonza should be much faster. And now here we go, on board with Combined. He pitted, so he's down into 9th now. He's going on the inside of Wesley. He has the inside line and he overtakes on the inside and he gets past Wesley and he moves up into 8th. That's his first overtake after his pit stop. As now White Wolf is up next. He's in the middle of the Red Bull battle at the moment. On board with the Boom, who's just got a 3-second time penalty. As now there is Boxy in the pits. He's going to come out behind Wesley, I think. Now still in the battle for the lead. They are within 1.1 seconds of each other. As now Ivan keeping his lead very well. As now, yep, yeah, Wattmaster in 3rd at the moment. So he should be catching up to these two at some point. But to be honest, Gonza should be keeping up with his teammate. But now here is on board White Wolf. As Combined has just got past White Wolf. Here he comes now with DRS. He's going to fight back at him as White Wolf as he comes to the inside, coming down towards turn 1. As now White Wolf goes on the inside of the Sauber. They are now side by side. They've touched. As now White Wolf is the inside line as he head into turn 2, and Combined gets the move done, and he moves up into 5th. That's a great move from the Sauber, and White Wolf just did not get the traction there out of turn 2, and Combined moves up to 5th, and White Wolf down to 6th now. Now he's got Lucky Racer next up to overtake. Well, no, Lucky Racer's going to overtake him next. Here is the Haas now as he head down into turn 11. What can Lucky Racer do? He's going to probably pass him on the straight here. Here we go. He's going to get some good traction now as he comes to the inside of Lucky Racer. Lucky Racer comes to the inside of White Wolf. They're now side by side on the straight. He's going to get DRS available. And now they're side by side coming down towards the hairpin. Lucky Racer now is the inside line. Is he going to make the overtake stick? He goes up the inside and he goes into 6th place on the inside. That's a nice move from the Hungarian and the Haas. And he moves up into 6th position. Harry now ahead of him as he comes into the pits, so that's Lucky Racer into 5th place and Combined up to 4th. So a nice move from the Haas, and it was an equal move to what Combined did to Wesley, and Lucky Racer did the same to White Wolf on the inside of the hairpin. So there's going to be a lot of overtakes in the hairpin today, I reckon. Anyway, back to the action. The Red Bulls are still fighting it out. Wesley versus White Wolf. Wesley gets the slipstream as he comes down towards turn 6. Is he going to get on the inside of him? He's having a little look, but not quite there for the Belgian. As this is lap 10 now, so we're almost halfway through. As now Wesley dropping back through this sector on his teammate. Back to the battle for the lead. It's still Ivan leading from Agonza and Wattmaster. So it's just going to stay the same, I reckon, for the rest of the race, unless Agonza can get some pace in and catch him. Jagger has just passed the Boom for 11th, so that's a position up for Jagger and his terrible race today, unfortunately, for the Serbian. As now Ivan heads into the hairpin. Gonza is 1.8 seconds behind, and Wattmaster is 1.2 seconds behind. On board with the Force India of Boxy, as we come into the straight again on lap 11 of the Chinese Grand Prix. Here is Boxy now, slipstreaming Wesley. Here we go. Coming onto the straight, he is going to have DRS once again. And he gets slipstream and pulls out to the outside. Wesley tries to defend, but he's going to break. He's going to break late into the hairpin. Boxy goes around the outside, and he goes into P6. That's a very good move from the German in the Force India. So there's obviously two Germans in the Force India. Sentry, who won in Australia, is not racing today in China. So there's only one German, and that's a nice move from Boxy there. Into 6th he goes. On board with White Wolf on lap 12 of this race. As now he challenges Harry, coming down on the inside into turn 1, and White Wolf gets the move done on Harry. Into P8 he goes. It's a very nice move. A lot of overtakes today from White Wolf, and just from everyone else, to be honest. It's a very nice, clean race at the moment I've seen. So this is good. Australia had quite a few incidents, but China is having quite a few overtakes now. Here is Jagger coming up to the back of Savage in the Mercedes, coming into this corner. It's Mercedes versus Ferrari. It's a classic rivalry there. As now Jagger has the inside on Savage, coming down into turn 11, and he gets past. Jagger gets past, and Savage actually runs into the back of Jagger there. But Jagger gets into 10th place. He moves into the points. As now, Lucky Racer's just got past Combined, and he's moved up into 4th as the Hungarian, and Combined drops down to 5th. So, I wonder how Lucky Racer got past. We will never be able to see, because Spectator did not really show it. But as we know, as we can see, Lucky Racer has actually moved up to 4th, so very nice stuff. As now on board with Savage on lap 14 of 28 here in China. Halfway through this Chinese Grand Prix now. Ivan seems to be very close. Gonza seems to be very close to Ivan. They are battling it out for the lead. As now Jagger goes up the inside of Harry for 8th place. Ivan and Gonza really are side by side. They're within 1/10 of each other. Who's going to win that battle? As now here comes Jagger on Harry now. He goes to the outside to Savage. Savage is going in there. As now he goes around the outside of Jagger. Coming into this corner, and they've had a collision there. And Jagger has been cut off by Savage there. And Savage lets Jagger through because he feels that was his fault. Sort of cut him off there, so I believe Savage's fault there, to be honest. He just completely cut him off. Probably didn't see him. But he cut him off, so here we go onto the straight. Gonza has indeed taken the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix, as now DRS is available for Savage as he heads down onto the straight, and he gets to the outside and moves past Jagger up into 9th now. Jagger goes back to the inside, but Savage has got past Jagger and up into 9th. So after colliding on this lap, Savage has actually flew past Jagger, and he's moved up into 9th now. Meanwhile, the front of Gonza has taken the lead away from Ivan, finally, like I predicted he would, and Wattmaster still 3rd, Lucky Racer 4th, and Combined 25 seconds behind him 5th, because Combined did a second pit stop. So, yeah. On lap 15, on board with Savage. And I believe the midfield is going to be a little bit, yeah. Now on board with Ivan as we head down into this corner. On board with Ivan. Gonza sets the fastest lap at 1:36.6. And Ivan coming through into turn 1. And the collision with Jagger, Jagger and Savage is under investigation, causing a collision. Savage is under investigation because he actually caused that crash, in my opinion. I think Savage caused that crash, so yeah. Here we go into turn 6, and yep, Ivan is probably not going to get a Gonza unless a Gonza makes a big mistake, because a Gonza is one of the fastest drivers here. Ivan is slightly slower than a Gonza, I think. So that's what I've seen anyway. Although Ivan is actually keeping up with the Gonza through these into Sector 2. Is now back with Harry, who's in 8th at the moment, and he's behind the Red Bull of Wesley. These Red Bulls have been talked about all race so far. They've had an eventful race, those two, both of them. As now we head onto the straight. Harry is got DRS, and is he going to be close enough for a move into the hairpin now? You get some slipstream, he's getting closer and closer, and he goes up the inside. He's going to dive bomb up the inside of Wesley, and he touches wheels, but Harry gets a brilliant move on the inside. It's a nice move. And he moves up into 7th. That's a great move. That was a Ricciardo style move there. Ricciardo and Hamilton style move there. And he moves up into P7. A nice move from the Renault. And back on lap 19. And Gonza has pulled away from Ivan, but now Wattmaster is all over the back of Ivan, heading into turn 2 and 3 on lap 19. Wattmaster is trying to go for the win, and he's just oversteered of the exit of turn 3. That has cost him a bit of time. That's quite unfortunate, to be honest. As now we head down through the second sector. Can Wattmaster get Ivan? On lap 20, the McLarens are fighting it out again because Ivan has caught back up on a Gonza. This is a very nice battle with a lead here in China, as now Savage moves over to the pits, and he's like rejoined the track, and that's scared Wattmaster off the track there. Could that be a dangerous rejoin or something like that? I'm not sure. That was controversial. That's actually wow. This is a very eventful race. There's battles all the way down the field. This battle for first between the Gonza, Ivan, and Wattmaster. We have the battle between we have battles between the Red Bull. We have the Red Bull battle. We've had the battle in the rear, Ping Shanghai and the Boom and Savage. And this battle at the front is just the most interesting so far. And there's another battle on lap 21 of this Chinese Grand Prix. Wesley is on the back of Harry, heading into this corner. Harry comes into the pits for another pit stop, so Wesley moves up into 7th. And now there's a bit of contact there, and Ping Shanghai moves past Savage. He moves up into 11th, and now can Savage fight that back? Because there was a nice move from Ping Shanghai there. Finally, moves up a position, but now Savage is getting quite close. Is he going to get the move, or let's see? He comes up the inside. He comes up the inside of Ping, and there's a bit of contact, and Ping holds on to 11th. Savage is trying his best to get back that 11th place, but he doesn't quite get there. So he's lost a position as the Mercedes. Ping Shanghai finally makes an overtake, and into 11th he goes. This is such an eventful race here in China. Savage now keeping up with Ping, heading into turn 1 and into turn 2. Here he goes through this corner. It's going to be a tense finish to the race as well, between Ivan and Gonza. For sure. And Wattmaster. Don't count him out of the equation. As now Lucky Racer comes into the pits. Could this battle continue between the Hungarian and the Australian, the Haas and the Sauber? Lucky Racer comes out of the pits, and Combined should stay out. He should stay out in 4th, but can Combined catch him with that pit stop he's just made? Lucky Racer just moved on to Super Softs, so I think he's going for a fastest lap here. To be honest, he got fastest lap last time in Australia, which was not shown unfortunately because it was not. It was shown, but in a non-interesting part, so I cut it out. But I reckon Lucky Racer is going for fastest lap again. But now, under investigation, Savage for rejoining the track dangerously. That would be for the Wattmaster incident for sure, because there is no other way he would rejoin the track and then just scare someone off the track. Like, he scared Wattmaster off the track. Like, it's like if he didn't ghost there, he would have crashed into him. He would have got damage. Meanwhile, Jagger is right at the back of the Red Bull of White Wolf, heading into turn 1. Is the Serbian going to get a move? It is going to go around the outside, and they are side by side through turn 1 and 2. Is he going to get this one? White Wolf has the inside line and fights back on Jagger. A nice move from the Serbian. But, White Wolf has gone back, but a nice attempt from the Serbian driver in the Ferrari. Ping too high is still being, he's kept up with Savage, but now, and Jagger finally gets past White Wolf after he makes a mistake out of turn 6. And, as I was saying, Savage is keeping up with Ping still. And White Wolf has just been overtaken by Jagger. And on lap 26, we have a replay of the back to the lead battle. And it's at the McLarens. They've come together. Agonza spun round. And that means that White Master's moved up into second. Ivan takes the lead. Agonza spins around. I think the McLarens came together there. I think they both made contact. What a dramatic... With 3 laps to go now, we have Wattmaster all over the back of Ivan. There's 2 laps to go now as we move on to the last lap of this Chinese Grand Prix. Wattmaster's within a second of Ivan as he comes into this DRS zone. Coming down towards turn 1. Is he going to get this move? Coming through into turn 1. I don't think he is. Ivan's holding on, is trying his best. The 2 Spaniards in the McLaren. Two McLarens, both Spaniards, they came together at turn 6, and that has cost Ivan time. That's cost Agonza his win. Agonza was going to win the race. But until then, until Ivan went for an ambitious move up the inside, from what it looked like, Agonza spun round. But on the final lap, this is the last lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. Ivan is trying to hold off the Williams. Is he going to get it? Surely they're both under pressure. There's a lapped car ahead of them as well. Oh, that's a Red Bull. What's going to happen with that? Is that going to cost Ivan? Or is that going to cost both of them? Who's going to win this Chinese Grand Prix? Hugo coming into turn 11. Wattmaster is right at the back of him. Is he going to get him on the straight in the DRS zone? Oh, he's lost a bit of time there. That could cost him dearly. Ivan is pulled away on the straight. That could cost him a lot of time there. And Ivan actually has DRS on the Red Bull ahead. He's moved to the inside. That is game over for Wattmaster, unfortunately. He got bad traction out of turn 13. But now, through into the final corner. And it's been an eventful Chinese Grand Prix. But Ivan comes across the line to win a tense Chinese Grand Prix. Wattmaster in second place. And it's a very good race for China. Agonza crosses the line in third. That was a nice race between the 3 leaders for the entire race. Very eventful between those 3. Agonza and Ivan came together. That was what decided the race. Wattmaster tried his best to get him on the last lap, but Ivan held on to the place, and he wins here in China. Lucky Racer finishes in 4th. He crosses the line. And now Combined should come across the line now in 5th. Yes, he does now. He crosses the line. But now it's a battle between Boxy and Wesley. This should be easy enough, to be honest. Savage has already finished the race, and White Wolf as well. And there it goes, Ping. Sorry, that was what Master's AI, I think. Was that Ping? No. Ping's already finished the race. But now through to the final corner, we have Boxy ahead of Wesley. Sorry, I'm used to Australia. That controversy last time. Boxy into the final corner. He finishes in P6. Wesley in 7th, and that was a nice race between those 2 as well until the end. And Wesley actually finishes in 7th. Yeah, Wesley finishes 7th. I thought, yeah, it was Harry who went into the pits and ended that battle. Harry finishes 8th. Jagger with his worst result in this BRL league of all time. Unfortunately, he finishes in 9th place. And the final finisher is the Boom 16 in the Haas. He comes into the final corner and finishes in 13th and last position. Not a good start for the Boom this season, to be honest. But that was one hell of a race here in Shanghai. That was a very, very good race. It had a lot of events and stuff like that. The battle between the three leaders, the two McLarens and Wattmaster. That came down right to the wire. There was the battle between the two Red Bulls. Combined had a few overtakes. Lucky Racer had a few overtakes. It was just exciting from start to finish. As Ivan wins by less than a second from Wattmaster in second place. Then Agonza finishes in third place in the other McLaren, and he's managed to quit the game. So I'll go through the results again in just a second. But really, that was such a good race. Here are the results of the Chinese Grand Prix now coming up. Ivan now wins. Ivan has won his first race of the season by less than a second from Wattmaster in second. Then Agonza in third. Then Lucky Racer in fourth. CombinedYoutuber in fifth. Then Boxy in sixth. Wesley in seventh. Harry Tech in eighth for Renault. Jagger in ninth. Very bad result for him. White Wolf finishes 10th with 1 point. Ping Too High in 11th. Savage in 12th. And Thaboom finishes in 13th. No retirements. And Ping Too High got 4 penalty points for causing a collision. Savage got 4 penalty points for causing a collision as well. And he also got 2 penalty points for a dangerous rejoin. And he also got a penalty for ignoring blue flags and an over-aggressive overtake. So he actually has a race ban for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So he will not be racing in Bahrain. Hopefully you enjoyed the very eventful Chinese Grand Prix. And Bahrain Grand Prix is next up. And see you later then.